And in the bottom right, in the blue, he's for the Shopify Rebellion. It's ByuN. And in the upper left, in the red, he's the east, he's the sun. It's Solar. And of course, this is ByuN. This is ByuN doing ByuN things, taking his barracks on the low ground here. Did we? Yeah, okay. Seems like Solar did go for an extractor cancel early on, and I don't know. I wasn't paying enough attention early. I don't know whether this was a planned extractor cancel or whether this was Solar forgetting his Overlord, having to go for the extractor cancel just to kind of make up for it a little bit. But very easily is this. Yeah, no, this is definitely, this feels planned as I look at this. So this is extractor cancel, hatch, pool, gas. This is Solar playing a very designed build against what ByuN wants to do. He understands that ByuN, 9 games out of 10 at this point, 10 games out of, whatever you want to say, ByuN does this double barracks opener just about every single game against Zergs, and this has been happening since, maybe not Katowice, but shortly after, no, maybe it was Katowice. Anyways, it's been happening for a while. And that's a lot of pressure on the map. That certainly can deny a third base if that's what the Zerg player is looking for. So we're starting to see players react to it a little bit, starting to find ways to kind of work around it. So for now, that response, well, it's going to be a quicker pool. It's going to be quicker queens. It's going to be quicker lings. So as the Reapers show up, the lings will already be out. And more importantly here, queens will be out that much faster on the map, which means that, which is kind of your inflection point, right? When you're looking at this, when you're trying to make sure you're okay, you want to make the queens are when this kind of gets shut down for the most part. So now Reaper shows high ground, but not going to find much of anything there. And with 6 lings out, it's just 1 Reaper. It's not a lot of value. But again, the big deal here is the queen is now out. And in the natural, that's going to be able to shoot things away. And more importantly, well, Solar, he got his drone down onto the low ground very quickly. That was like a 19 supply drone going down. Not because he wants to go and take it at 19, but because he wants to make sure the Reaper doesn't catch it on the transfer. And he gets away with it. So yeah, you know what? Economy absolutely lost. That's not all that great, right? You have to send a drone out at 19 and just have it sitting there down below your third base for quite a while because you're afraid. You're so afraid of the Reapers. But on the flip side, ByuN doesn't get away with what he wants to get away with. You know, he's got his third base on the way now. He only built 3 Reapers, which 2-shot lings, they 2-shot drones, but no workers died. You know, no lings. I don't even think a ling died. Okay, well, he got 1. But very little damage done by ByuN outside of the implicit sending that drone out early. It's outside of making the build from Solar maybe just a little bit odd. It's going to be like a 345 speed, so not 330, which is your standard hatch gas pool, but not a delayed, more greedy 4-minute speed. It just kind of, it's a bit of an awkward timing. Just showing really how Solar's economy has been slowed down just a little bit. But for now, ByuN, you know, he's got his 2-1-1 setup, 3 Marines on the way at a time, but only just now is Stim getting started here. So that's going to be done like 5:30-ish, which makes sense, right? You know, you go for a 2-1-1 like this, like ByuN's opener, you do commit more gas early to make sure that you have, well, the early Reaper pressure, right? You know, early Reapers, I like that. They're not cheap. And in doing so, you do slow down your speed a little bit, especially if you want to get your tech the way you want it to be. So now, ByuN, Stim on the way, getting that. This is actually something he's also been doing, where he just gets the cloakless Banshee. Maybe some spare gas, some spare mining, some spare production time, whatever it is. But he's been getting like 1 to 2 cloakless Banshees, and because it's not something that the Zerg expects, and it's just a little weird, right? Based on this, you 2-1-1s don't get Banshees. You want the medevacs, but because Stim is delayed, you actually can take the time and get a Banshee or 2 and run them across the map and then get your medevacs where you want them anyways. So we're going to see how much damage ByuN's going to be able to get out of this. As for now, his third base is done. Even the orbital, that is also complete. So economy going like gangbusters for ByuN at this point. Yeah, 38 workers is, you know, not as much as Solar has, but he's a Terran and he's going to be fine. Triple mules make up for a lot here, as now Solar, not supply blocked, but will lose that Overlord on the other side. And this is going to force spores. This is going to force an immediate layer. And granted, you probably want to layer anyways, but this forces reactions that maybe Solar doesn't need, because this is a single Banshee, no cloak. You know, like, this is not going to be doing, this is not really all that much, and arguably forcing the spores when he did. Oh, okay, he doesn't get the damage on the drone. But arguably forcing the drone or forcing the spores when ByuN did is almost worthwhile in and of itself. That being said, you know, it's 5 minutes. It's not that big of a deal to get spores at this point. You find them useful anyways against drop pressure. So, you know, it's not that bad. But now ByuN is getting ready here. Medevacs on the field, the first two, 18 Marines, couple Reapers from early on, but most importantly, Stim is done. And, well, ByuN, give him some Stim Marines. He can work some magic here. So for now, he's going to knock the rocks down, saying, hey, Solar, thank you. Thank you for knocking those rocks down halfway. That does spark joy. The Banshee just, you know, continues to poke around, taking very little damage. But this fourth base is the true thing that's under threat here. Stim's on top of the Queens. Doesn't get them, though. Not, and now as the Lings look to re-engage, but ByuN just sits on the edge of what's okay. One Queen goes down, looking to target fire the Banes, but doesn't get them yet, and there we go. Targets them all, or at least a couple there, and loses, what, 1, 2 Marines, something like that. Very well played coming out of ByuN. Doesn't get the hatch, though, and I think that's kind of what he really wanted. Casting ByuN against the Zerg is so much fun. In this stage of the game, when it is just very heavy drop pressure and just shenanigans and playing around the map, you're just looking to see him target things down. You're like, oh, okay, he's microing, this is kind of cool. Oh, he gets 10 Banes, this is fantastic. You know, he's microing. Oh, we got a couple Queens, this is cool. As he stims down onto the fourth base, and this time, yeah, there are too many Lings, too many Banes. Can't get much done there. And into the main base? Yeah, similarly lacking. Was that the Spore from the third? Did he run that over? No. Just built a second one. Now, again, a couple more Banelings go down, but for the most part, this early pressure from ByuN is getting slowed down a little bit now. So now, +1 attack, about halfway done for Solar, +1 armor, just a little bit slower, and actually both of them are going to be slower now than ByuN's 1-1 timing. In fact, I think he might be able to hit before Baneling's speed is done. It's going to be very... No, okay, Baneling's speed is just going to be a little bit faster here. And now, Baneling speed done in 4 seconds, 1-1 done in 5. Let's see what he can find here. For now, the hatch taking a lot of damage as the flank's getting ready. But there's vision here for ByuN, and the flank's not going to work out all of that much. Not yet. Target fire needs to be on the Banes from the tanks, but he doesn't get it, and ByuN loses so much on the right side, but the left side, he wins in spades here. And now comes flooding down the ramp. 1 Queen will fall. Second one stays alive for the time being, cutting back to the tank, and you got to pick up here. This is a position that ByuN cannot hold on to. And I say that, never mind. Tanks get fantastic shots, and ByuN continues to find his way forward, continues to exert this pressure on the map. +1 attack's done, but that's not the upgrade that matters here for the Zerg. You want the Carapace, you want your Banelings to live longer, and ByuN just gets on top of the cocoons, targets them down, but doesn't get it. And the Banelings, they continue to force ByuN off the map right now. That tank, though, on the bottom side lived far longer than it had any right to, and now the last couple Banelings, ByuN's not going to get the second one. He gets the first, but still sitting on the high ground, on the low ground here. Hydra's starting to join the fray, but they don't have enough damage. The tank on the back line, well, that's going to do more than enough here. A couple Marines stim into the main. Natural gets so low, but won't fall. And now it's economic damage. ByuN, this army is mostly dead, right? Doesn't have much more available to it, but 9 dead workers here. It's going to be a Queen falling as well. I think, yeah, he's going to be able to target her down, and the drones continue to fall. So 11 dead workers here. And ByuN behind this. He's got a fourth base on the way, but also 3 more barracks, second factory. Economy exactly where he would like to be in, but the production also in a pretty fantastic spot. The question, though, is whether ByuN continues to push into that kind of that salient point, that open spot that ByuN has been able to find on the north side and that very low fourth base, or whether he's going to go try to contest this fifth. Solar is only just now starting to mine from it, but the big thing, the good news for Solar right now is that he has... Well, his creep spread actually on the left side is very nice. So it's going to take ByuN a moment to really clear through there. Even still, that's a dead Overlord. And now ByuN, he's up 25 army supply. He's up in workers until right now. He's going to have that 2-2 timing that Solar just won't have for quite a while. And yeah, Solar has a hive on the way. Eventually, we're going to see lurkers. Or, you know, something. Probably lurkers, right, with Hydras on the field. But that is a long ways off, and ByuN has the opportunity to end the game right now. Spinning up Marauders on top, just having that once you hit 4th base, once you hit 8 gas, or just the extra economy, you can afford more Marauders. You can't afford to have that wall in front. So for now, ByuN on the right side, left side as well. Solar's just going to have to give this base up. He doesn't have the army. He doesn't have the position to deal with both. So he gives up the 5th, wants to keep the 4th base alive, but this feels awkward. This feels rough. Because that 4th base is very, very low, and if ByuN's going to be able to bring his army together, he might just be able to snipe it anyways. These tanks in the high ground, withering fire. The Hydras, Hydras against tanks really do struggle. The tanks just outrange them, and Hydras are just not beefy at all. So on the left side, ByuN continues to find his way in. On the right side, that sieged up position, oh, so powerful here. Another queen, which is, by the way, that's the 11th. That's 11 dead queens this game, and the 4th base dead as well. So Solar is just falling down every side. Yeah, okay, looks like a medevac went down, but Lings are going to engage, and Solar is just, he's dead. Has to type GGGGG because ByuN dominates in this first game. In the upper left, in the blue here, he's up a game, going for that Reaper play once again. It's ByuN. And in the bottom right, in the red, he's down. Just the relentless pressure from the Terran, making it too hard for him to play. Trying to equalize, it's Solar. Oh man, my neck is tight. And as we get into game number 2, I would like to remind you all that I upload videos not every day. Like, for example, yesterday, I recorded this awesome best of 5 between ByuN and Hero from KSL, and it was great. It was very fantastic. It was actually a really cool series, except I forgot to press the record button. And that's why there was no video yesterday. That's why, well, 2 days ago by the time this video goes out, that's why there was no video Saturday either, just because we got behind a little bit. It was rough. But generally, VODs. YouTube StarCraft casts are going up 7 days a week, and when it's necessary, when it's important, interviews with people from the Stormgate development team or people working with Stormgate, news analysis, things of that nature. So hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and let me know what you think about ByuN's build, because at this point, you know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be Reaper play. It's going to be that aggression. Why can't Zergs figure it out? Why do we see this winning so much? ByuN is just... Is it his micro? Is it that he understands this so well that it feels unstoppable? Is it something else? I don't know. But for now, ByuN's doing it once again here. Sends the first Reaper across, 2nd and 3rd on the way. And the question now is whether he stops at 3. And it seems like that actually is going to be the answer here. It's actually kind of interesting as we look at this, because ByuN has been, well, ByuN has been committing ByuN has really standardized his Reaper play. The way I guess we're going to say that here is, oh no, Solar committed, he did the same thing in game 2 he did in game 1, right? He made the drone elsewhere to make sure that you can try to get it down, but nope, ByuN finds it. He learns from the shenanigans, and now that means that, oh, that's a great KDA charge, and this means Creep Tumor, yeah, it's going to die. KDA charge knocks the rest of it off, so dead drone, delayed 3rd base, delayed creep spread, all wonderful things for ByuN here early on, and now with that creep spread delayed, with speed a solid 45 or 40 seconds out of this point, ByuN is going to be able to put some heavy pressure onto this 3rd base. Now, it's only 3 Reapers, so it probably shouldn't be a cancel, but maybe, just maybe. Ooh, the Reapers get around the Lings, not in the proper position, so that's going to be 1 dead Ling. 2nd one follows here. He's going to get a 3rd, and the 1 low Reaper, it's going to be able to find his way more than that. It's not even going to go low ground, because that's what Solar wants him to do. And he's going to dive back in, healing back up here. This is so obnoxious. This is illegal. If you're a fan of Zerg players, you're going to find this thing absolutely illegal. But now speed is done, so Solar should clean this up at the end. KDA charges a little bit slow on the uptake, but even still, a couple more Lings should ByuN. Yeah, he's going to kill a couple Lings. Oh, he's going to get the Lings on the high ground maybe. But there will be no escape. Oh, actually, hold on a second here. Killing more. Another shot. Another shot. Does he get the last Ling? Oh, no. Oh, no. But even still. 9 dead Lings. A dead drone. All the scouting you could possibly want. ByuN's in a pretty solid position, but he is left side of the map. Northwest side of the map on Gresfon. And that means that your tech lab. That means that your tech lab and your wow, why am I blanking on the name of this? Your reactor are very exposed to any sort of pressure, but Solar's not gonna, doesn't seem like Solar's gonna buy into that. In fact, I think he's gonna be too late for anything he would opt into. You know, it's 5 minutes. Stim is done. Like, any sort of bust here would just end up with Solar committing more than he would like. So instead, he's droning heavily, Baneling Nest on the way, a couple more lings to make sure that he can survive whatever it is that ByuN throws at him. And, well, what ByuN throws at him is a slightly different wrinkle on this idea compared to game number 1. Game 1 was a solid 2-on-1, like we're used to seeing. 6 minutes, right? Much quicker starport. This time, we saw Stim much faster out of ByuN, done at 5 minutes, despite this being a 3 command center play, right? Because he really did. He delayed the starport for quite a bit. Onto the idea, I assume that Solar might try to all in him, so he'd like to have Stim on those Marines, and you can drop a bunker in front of things and be fine. And now that means that these medevacs are very slow in the balance of the game. In fact, starport's done now, but yeah, waiting for that reactor to come online for the medevacs to properly be able to do what they would like to do here. So ByuN, despite having Stim, doesn't have a ton of agency on the map at the moment. He's just going to have to sit back, wait for the first couple medevacs to pop out, and really then go to town, as he was just briefly supply blocked. Actually, you know what? No, it wasn't. What am I saying? I was looking at the... it said he was at mining like 19 out of 17, and I saw the red number, and I'm like, oh, ByuN supply blocked. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. But anyways, ByuN adding in his extra barracks here, going up to 5. He's got a first couple medevacs at 16 Marines and 2 medevacs with Stim combat shields, trying to make some pressure happen. But he is going to, of course, move the starport over once again. Really wants to get into 5 barracks production, 5 barracks pressure as quickly as possible. So for now, medevacs on the left side. 1-1's not done, and it seems like it's going to pop up kind of towards the end of this double drop stage. But this has been scattered out here. So lings are going to filter on over. A couple banelings as well. They don't have speed, but they're going to be more than fast enough at this point. So Solar, he's got to be careful. This is still a bunch of Stim Marines with combat shields. They're very beefy boys for the game state, but it's not going to be enough. So Queens now find their way onto the low ground. This actually might be a bit of an opportunity here for ByuN, so long as he keeps these medevacs alive, but nah, he's not going to be able to. Queens now poke forward here. 1 low medevac. Do they have the shots? No. No, they don't. Not at all. Not close enough. And now Solar, he forced the drop out, though, and ByuN really didn't get all that much done. That 1-1 timing off the drop, that may have been something. Not really enough here, but ByuN going for a 7 racks. Okay, there's the 8th racks on the way, and you look at this, it's like, okay, well, heavy pressure coming out of ByuN. We can probably expect he's going to get a 4th base eventually, but he wants to commit hard in the mid game here off this 1-1 timing, and he wants to do it to the point where he's getting his 3rd or his 7th or 6th, 7th, and 8th racks before his armory, which does slow his 2-2 timing out quite a bit, and that can be a powerful timing on your 8 racks. When you have 2-2, when you're maxed out there, it really can be rather nice indeed. As another scan gets dropped, more creep removed. And the big deal now, did Solar see that morphing barracks? Okay, so yes, he's seen the couple extra barracks on the map. Solar is aware of what's happening here. He sees the extra barracks at the front. That should tell him everything he needs to know. So Solar's response now is going to ideally to not get too greedy. Yeah, maybe get another extra hatch because that's production on top of everything else. But ByuN is going to hit like a sledgehammer very quickly. He's going to be building 12, 14 Marines at a time. And you have to be oh so careful about that, as ByuN's forgotten his play. Here we go. Okay, +2 attack on the way now. The supplies, army supplies, they're only even. He's not really starting to pull ahead at this point because Solar, he's not building that many workers. I mean, yeah, sure. Hive on the way, or infestation pit on the way, but he's pumping units. He understands what type of game that ByuN wants to play, and he's not giving him an opening. It seems like Solar actually is going to be the first player to max out here playing Lingbane against Nate Rax, although that tank positioning is really, really solid, but he gets him on the unsiege. ByuN, this is a bit awkward here. This is not his entire army. Tank shots have to be fantastic, and they're not good enough. ByuN has to pick up run home. Only 1 medevac's worth, but he does get the base on the right side. So yeah, he gets swept up. He gets cleaned up in the middle of the map here, but he does heavily supply block Solar, and he gets the 5th base. So now Solar only on 4, 5th base on the way now on the high ground position. But at least ByuN gets the punish that way. And 15 Marines on the way at a time here is just... that's a lot of Marines. But now Solar's getting a Hive. He's getting Lurker Den. And when we talk about the context of this game, 8 racks is fantastic as long as there are Lurkers not on the map. Or, you know, Ultras or something. Marines are great. Marines don't kill Lurkers all that well. Is now a double drop on the right side. The same base killing force that, well, that got that base is going to not get much more there as the Spore and the Queens knock one medevac down. 8 Marines, even with +2, which they don't have yet. But even with +2. Not super interesting. So here comes Solar on the break once again here, finding his way around a corner. One tank still surviving for quite a while, and this concave from ByuN is beautiful here, but he loses all the tanks, and that is pretty dang important. That is what makes the difference, right? You need tanks. You need them to be able to kill Hydras. You need them to be able to kill Banelings, and without them, life gets rather complicated indeed. But ByuN, pressure on the bottom side, forced back by the Queens, but now he turns the corner, finds his way on the left. And by the way, first of all, those changelings are a bit of a problem. Solar knows everything that's happening here. But I do want to point out that ByuN, his 4th base is an orbital. He is going ultra greed here on the understanding that he is putting so much pressure on the map off this 8 racks, off everything that he's doing, that Solar's not going to have time for counterattacks. So ByuN can get away with that 4 orbital play, and it seems like he's doing so as Marines splitting backwards on creep against the Banes. Really minimal shots here, and the triple drop in the main, well, that one's going to be forced back, get some gas at least. And now the Queen count starting to run out of energy, starting to slow down a little bit here. 1 tank to buffer, and at ByuN continues to push. Queens continue to fall. Solar, he's got so many Banes, but he needs to set up the surround right now. ByuN's aware of it. He's going to lose all the Marines at the front, though. Not paying attention because he's got to drop in the main here. That's going to have to do oh so very, very much. The Lings, though, filtering in. They're not getting anything. But ByuN, his supply, not where it needs to be. Loses so many tanks. The drop in the main doesn't get enough. Now ByuN, he's been forced back off the map. The tempo has been given over to Solar at this point, and that means now that 4th base we were talking about, that is just an orbital, that is suddenly vulnerable. That is suddenly something where Solar can start to move out of the map. Solar can suddenly start to push with. But of course, he does have that Lurker Den. No Lurker upgrades. He hasn't been able to afford it. Now it's getting started. Seismic Spines on the way. Solar, though, very little gas here as 7 more workers go down. Losing that gas from early on is actually fairly significant. Solar is only on 5 gas as he tried to transition into Hydra Lurker Viper. That is a very gas expensive composition there. So that gas knife from ByuN actually a little bit more impactful than I thought it was going to. be. And now ByuN of just about 10 army supply, 3-3 on the way. But again, he's kind of his +3 attack. His attack upgrade is just a little bit slow. But he's going to catch a couple Vipers on the right side. This drop with +2 Marines seems like it may be... yeah, it's going to just force the cancel there. ByuN has to pick up, run away. But nope, Vipers are there. So that's not going to find all that much. But now double drop in the main. And Solar seems well prepared. Yeah, he's got plenty of Lings here. They got Adrenal. 3-3 is not done for these Marines. So yeah, ByuN's not going to get much of anything there. And the game goes on. But he stims on top of a Lurker on the 3rd base. And that's very nice. Tanks got range on the base as well. So ByuN, he's still finding value here. But you start to add the Vipers in, and that's a nice abduct, actually. That is it. The tank is still definitely able to fight here. Even the Lurker from the high ground eventually kills him, but the tank still gets some nasty shots off, and ByuN kites backwards away from creep. That's a dead Viper. 3 tanks for a Viper. Si lo mismo. Works both ways. So now Solar again trying to take that base on the north side. It's been struck from the map about 3 times over the course of this game, which is making life a little hard for Solar. You know, you want to get that 1 base up on the Terran well, I guess he is up 1 base, but maybe you want to get the 2nd base up here. The scan gets dropped. 1 Lurker goes down. 2nd one seems like it's going to fall here as well, and ByuN gets another base. The fact that ByuN is doing this with just Marine tank against Hydra, Lurker, Viper, ByuN's, everything else. He's going to get a cancel on the retake, too. The fact that ByuN is doing this on as low tech as he is, he's going to get another Lurker here with just Marines. That's not allowed. Like, that's not okay. That should not be happening. It's now this relentless pressure from ByuN. He's down army supply a little bit. He's down workers, but he's killing so many bases. He has killed 30. I thought it was actually more, but he's killed 38 workers over the course of this game and killed 2 hatches and denied a whole hell of a lot more. Trading much better here, getting on top of another Lurker, and now he's going to cancel some. This is a powerful composition. This is a powerful push that ByuN has ready. He's going to get another base against this solar that is looking so good, but now finally there's the punish there on the orbital. ByuN has to lift this. These 3-3 adrenalings are worth oh so very much, and finally the pressure on the map has been released, and it's gonna be so much damage from these Lings and these Banes. ByuN, his entire army has to run back home. 20 dead workers, make it 28 here, and it's still not getting cleaned up. ByuN has to return home. I don't know where his army is. It's just stuck in the middle of the map. He's not responding. And now you got to deal with this, ByuN. Why are you not reacting? You have to do something with that army in the middle of the map. Either push in, make this a trade that is too expensive for Solar to bear, too dear for him to withstand, or go back and defend. But he doesn't do either, and now he lost 40 SCVs, only 32 now, loses that orbital, but he's going to get on top of so many of these Lurkers moving forward here. But there are Banelings, there are Hydras. This army does not have the one-tap, the snap-down potential that ByuN would like to have, that Solar had with that, quite honestly, small run-by, medium-sized run-by of Lings and Banes. And it's going to find more here. This is, it's going to burn, it's not going to die. But make no mistake about it, ByuN is in a horrible position at this point. This is just so bad. He's going to lose another tank. Lurker spines shredded here. Lings on top of it as well. ByuN needs to kill. ByuN needs to do more. He's done. He's got to repair this base. It's just slowly dying. The tank will go down as well as. Ooh, these Vipers exposed. ByuN snaps one down, but doesn't get the second. Not quite fast enough on the trigger. And now the Lings and Mains, they're going to run forward there, though ByuN does have the concave, and that's a nice, oh, that's a parasitic bomb. ByuN slow on the split, but he's going to try to take this fight anyways. Lurkers on the north side. They're going to just totally deny the pressure there from ByuN. He can't move in, but he has so many tanks, and we're looking at, that base is dead, by the way. ByuN is going to go back down to 3 bases, barely mining. Only 1 Lurker coming out of Solar at this point, though, but it's tanks versus Lurkers. That is not what you want to see. So now ByuN's got to find some way into this, but these are, they don't have +2 just yet, but it's still so many Lurkers here. So ByuN, he needs to move right now before the Lurkers are ready, before the tanks just siege everything up, and ByuN's just getting eaten out from the inside. 20 SCVs remaining, literally not mining. Okay, 300 minerals a minute. He's mining more gas than minerals. He, like, this army that ByuN has here is the only army that he's going to have in the game anymore. Is now, ooh, Lurker, Viper, excuse me, shows itself a little bit. Doesn't cast the spell, takes heavy damage, but now ByuN stims the Marines, and he's going to try to find something here. Scan gets dropped, the Lurker mass transfused, and now the Lings are going to try to jump on top of this here, but ByuN finds a bit of a way. The Marines, though, so overstimmed, these medevacs, so little energy to their name. That's an incredible blinding cloud. The tanks aren't going to fire here, and this should do it at the end of things. Solar breaks the back of ByuN's army. He breaks the back of ByuN's bank, and ByuN forced to tap out. That one move from Solar, more than enough, and Solar ties our series up. We're 1 apiece. The bottom left in the blue. Took game 1, fell in the second here. Let's see what he's got in store for us. It's ByuN. And the upper right with a double gas cancel. It's Solar. Solar, he did this in game number 1, and we can see he's 15 out of 14, waiting for that Overlord, but he did a double gas cancel into a 16 hatch with no Overlord. Getting that hatch down so quickly, and then getting the pool after that means that, well, realistically, he's going to have the answer to the double rack expand, but that's not what ByuN's doing. In fact, ByuN went command center first. in this game number 3 with it all on the, well, not quite all on the line. You, of course, you can. It's okay to lose. Well, not okay. But this is match 1 of our GSL group, which means that you'll be able to move, and even if you lose, you do have another shot. AVGSL group is double elimination, but well, Maru is waiting in the other side, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure that ByuN wants to run into Maru if Maru, or I want to say it's Gumiho is the other player in this group. So that's a scary TVT opponent on the lower side of this. If you end up losing, right here. So for now, ByuN desperately wants to win this game. Get another crack at Solar in the final match, maybe. And certainly, ByuN has been able to beat Maru. I'm not going to say consistently, but has been able to take series off of him recently, an online play. So let's see. I love this build decision from ByuN though. Solar really committed so hard to countering what ByuN's been doing, right? You double gas cancel, take the quick hatch, take the quick pool to make sure that you have queens and lings up enough to be able to defend against this 2-Rax play, and then ByuN says, oh, that's fine. I'm gonna do the polar opposite of what I did in games 1 and 2. I'm gonna go CC first. I'm not even gonna get a Reaper. And Solar, you're gonna delay everything. You're gonna spend half a drone. You're gonna buy, what is that? Actually, I guess a quarter of a drone. You're gonna spend a quarter of a drone on double gas canceling there to make sure that that you get this out fast enough. And you're just not gonna worry. It's not gonna happen. And ByuN just builds himself a beautiful, just build order lead, tempo lead, mind game lead, whatever you want to call it here in this 3rd game in our series. I mean, he's already at 30 workers. The Cyclone, though, is very interesting to me. In fairness, ByuN hasn't scouted anything. This is just the mind game play. This is playing your opponent, not playing the race. So he's going for this. He's getting the Cyclone. He's got a medevac on the way as well. And I think we're going to see all of it maybe go into the medevac, the Marines, and the Cyclone. But more importantly, I think the play here was it's like, okay, you know what? Solar might try to punish me with roaches. That's a solid solution to a lot of the stuff, like to a lot of the shenanigans that I'm doing. That's how Dark, for example, has been dealing with a 2-Rax pressure. So if Solar opens roaches, I'm just going to have a Cyclone. And if Solar doesn't open roaches, I'm still going to have a Cyclone. I'm going to be able to go snipe Overlords on the map. I snipe Queens on the map, maybe. Different things like that. So drop down, lock on the Queen. Not what he wanted. Doesn't get this. It doesn't get the Overlord. So for now, just drop force back. Too many Queens there. But at the very least, it denies some creep, and that is something. But behind this, of course, Stim on the way. A couple additional barracks going on up to 5. So ByuN, the other thing we're gonna look at here is, right, so this is 5 racks before a 3rd base. And what this means is that ByuN is doing the thing that he loves to do. Did Solar see that? Yeah, okay, he saw the extra racks. That's a massive scout, actually. But the thing that ByuN loves to do, and he will go for this CC first build. He will get tempo, whatever. But he plays aggressively greedy. You're getting yourself up to 48 workers very, very quickly. But you don't get a 3rd base off of it. It's not CC first into quick 3rd base into Omega Greed that way. No, that's not what it is at all. It's CC first into a 5-Rax timing push, into a +1 stim combat shields type of thing. Because it hits just a little faster. It's a little bit harder for the Zerg to deal with for the most part. So, Baneling Nest, 2/3 of the way done. Lair on the way, but Solar, he's going to have to rely on single Evo upgrades. He's going to have to get that Carapace because you really want that to counteract all the damage that these +1 Marines will find. But it's going to be a good ways off here. And Solar is going to be stuck on, 55, 60 drones. He's not going to be as rich as he would like. This is a tight, even with Solar having the scout here, this is going to be a fairly tight hold that he's going to have to find. So now the question is whether ByuN is going to be able to get what he wants. The army is there. Stim is done. The +1, only about halfway complete, but the first push doesn't need it. because Baneling speed is not done here. And with a tank and the Cyclone, ByuN can find a position on the right side, take advantage of that just disgusting tank position. And Solar's going to have to give the position up for the time being here. He's got plenty of queens at the front, and that's something. But look at what ByuN's doing. He's just establishing these tank positions, slowly creeping forward. Doesn't even feel the need to run them forward. Doesn't want him to go down. So Medevac goes on the boost here. 16 Marines into the main base. Stim done. Nothing here. This should be a dead queen at the very least. 1 or 2 lings will filter on in, but ByuN Stim's on top. What does he find? No, not a queen after all. Lings arrive. So it's going to be forced back, actually. Okay. Cyclone, though. Lock on to a low energy queen. Not quite what you're looking for. But again, ByuN's just waiting for his +1. This is the timing. 10 seconds until Baneling speed. +1. Done. And his army. ByuN. He's going to see it. Yeah, he's going to deal with the interdiction force. That's not going to find much of anything. And now combat shields are done. So if there ever was a big timing for ByuN in this game, it is absolutely going to be this one. But Solar, big run by idea on the left side. Banelings and Lings, but there are Marines at home. The problem is, it's more than just Lings. It's the Banelings as well. And that means that ByuN, the Banelings are just going to crash through this wall, and the Marines kind of hugging it like that are not what you want. He gets a couple, but not all of them. And now SCVs, they're just trapped up here, but only one Baneling remains. Has to target it down. There we go. The Baneling will fall, but ByuN, so much of this economy here is going to just, it's going to fall down. It's in the dirt. ByuN's economy, half of where he wants to be. Is he's going to lose 19, 20, more than that workers, but the third base of Solar seems like destined to fall here as well off this +1 timing. Queens are going to transfuse as well as they can, but they're just totally zoned out. Too many Marines here, so 21 dead SCVs, but it's a dead base for Solar, and that still rough for ByuN. Still rough for ByuN indeed, but at the very least, it's some level of a trade here as he continues to rally more across Lings and Banes on the left side. ByuN tries to catch some of them, but he can't. And a second round of a run by here, dealing with reinforcements as well as he can. Great Baneling connection there as well. And now, ByuN again, kind of caught between a rock and a hard place here. Tank will siege, but Ling's already on top of it. So you're just looking for big shots on the Banelings there. They're going to get 1, they're going to get 2. And actually, these Banelings will fall, but more Banelings into the natural, more Lings as well here. ByuN, his economy. How does he come back from this at this point? It's 26 workers to 61. All the tempo done. All the tempo lost. And yeah, he got a base. But it's literally 1 dead worker over the course of this game. 2 now. ByuN needs so much more. He's going to force a cancel on the 2nd, 4th, and that's nice. That's something. And he does have a bit of an upgrade lead with a 1-1 done, so maybe he's going to find pressure here on this north side base. Maybe that's going to have to be what it is. His Liberator up in the main, taking a little... Well, trying to kill an Overlord, but the Spore should kill that off. Overlord stays alive here. But now the tanks are starting to siege this base up, and Solar realistically is actually only mining on 2 hatches. The drones had to get pulled away, so even if we're looking at this and say, well, you know, Solar has 60 workers, ByuN has 30, that doesn't feel great. Well, realistically, Solar's mining with 40 of those. His economy is ahead of what ByuN's is, don't get me wrong, but it's not as far ahead as you might think it is. And now ByuN trying to get on top of this hatch once again. That is, a couple of these queens have so much energy, but even still, ByuN is starting to bleed them dry of that as the run by on the other side again. But this time, ByuN keeps tanks on the high ground. This time, that run by won't work. And now the Marines and the Cyclones, they're going to find pressure once again. So many Banes here, but Solar doesn't want to commit, not into the tank line, not yet. So the base stays alive, but very, very nearly gets knocked down here. And Solar's not mining out of the main base either. ByuN is starting to come back into this game in a way that did not feel possible at all. It's another dead base. That's the 2nd one that falls over the course of this game, and ByuN continues to find his way forward here. So many Lings and Banes, though, just picks up, runs away. Where do you go from here? Solar's got +2 Carapace on the way. He's been able to reestablish that 3rd base once again. Yeah, but this run by doesn't seem like it should be able to do all that much unless ByuN doesn't. Oh no! Unless ByuN doesn't stim, unless he doesn't pay attention. He got surrounded. Banelings kill everything. Oh, that was expensive. That one hurt. But he's going to be able to cancel a 4th base again. And I love what ByuN's doing here with the tanks, where he's playing high ground, low ground. And if you engage on a tank on one side, you can't kill the other side of it, and it will get multiple shots on your Lings, on your Banes. That's just not where Solar wants to be. So for now, he's gonna start to siege up the natural here. And is this Evo chamber in range? No, it doesn't seem to be the case, but here comes Lings and Banes from every side. But this is a great position that ByuN found himself. The tanks, though, they got to target the Banelings down. They're going to get actually a decent amount of them here on the right side, though. ByuN gets forced back, and the tanks, they don't get enough Banes. It's not enough here. It was a really solid position. It felt like ByuN just had a masterful spot, but not enough. Even still, though, army supplies equals Solar literally doubling the worker count of ByuN, but that's a better position than ByuN has been for the last 5 minutes of this game. I mean, just look at the income. It's starting to trend down a little bit more. ByuN's starting to equalize that income a tiny bit. It's still rough, don't get me wrong. Here's Lings and Banes are going to find these tanks in the middle of the map, and now they're going to get on top of the Marines as well. ByuN nowhere to run here. Got to pick up. Got to run away, but he's going to find another base, and that actually is a massive deal here. If he gets this hatch, and it seems like he very well might, Solar's going to be a 2-hatch Zerg. He's not going to be able to take advantage of that money, but no. ByuN commits to the Queens, doesn't kill them, and just gets the energy out. 3 mineral patches in the main. Starting to run out in the natural. But of course, this is ByuN. And very quickly you can say, oh, well, you know, this is fine. This is whatever. My main base can float over to my third. I can get myself on a 2-base economy, or, you know, 1.5 bases. ByuN hasn't built an SCV for quite a while now, but I can build myself on up to, you know, 2-ish, 1.5 base economy pretty quickly. And now the drop in the main base here is going to get an Overlord, maybe. Actually, no, it's not going to stay alive, and ByuN has to pick up. And now we're seeing the issue, because Solar was able to squeak out +2 Carapace. In fact, more than that, he's got +2 attack on the way. He's got Hydras on the way here. Solar keeps finding ways to... I don't know how he does it, but to keep affording tech. Despite all the pressure that ByuN's finding, that is a bad rally of ByuN's Marines. Into the middle of the map, those should get knocked down. There we go. They will get punished. But this drop in the main, going to get dealt with. But ByuN, opportunity here. Hatch, though, seems like it was transfused, so it's not going to be as low as it once was, but ByuN stems on top of it anyways. And there is actually no defense. Solar's committing everything to the defense in the natural, and that means that Solar is going to lose his 3rd hatch of this game. At least he's mining off of the other base, but again, Solar's economy is hurting here pretty significantly. ByuN going to lose more tanks, though, and that's the problem here. Kiting away doesn't have the damage to cut through these +2 Carapace Lings, and thinks about dropping in the main. It's not going to happen. So ByuN, realistically, what he has, first of all, he has to deal with this run by, and then the main base has to float over. It's literally 1 mineral patch. 30 minerals remain. Like, there are only 4 mineral patches in the natural, 17 out of 8. ByuN needs to take advantage of the fact that these buildings can fly, and he needs to send them somewhere else. He's got to find a way to redevelop his economy. Because, yeah, you know what? Sniping base after base against Solar is fantastic. But Solar's got 2, too. He's up 20 army supply at this point of Ling Bane on creep here. And this really, it feels like this push from ByuN is really starting to peter out here. Every time he snipes a base, another one pops up, and another one pops up here. And yeah, he gets another cancel. And Solar's economy, yeah, it's not great in the main, but it's better than ByuN's in the natural, better as well. So Ling's on this counterattack once again. ByuN literally not mining at this point. The SCVs being pulled away means that, yeah, ByuN 55, 27, 0. 0 minerals on the income tab here. He's got to find something. He needs to develop his economy in some kind of way here as the Marines go down. Tank gets saved. And this army from ByuN just doesn't feel like it's going to do it anymore. Down 2 upgrades. He's got tanks fine, but he doesn't have money. And Solar, you know, as dear as it is, he can long distance mine it and do something. And this big surround is going to find its way in on the main and then every side, north, south, east, and west. The tanks, they're going to fall down, and ByuN is dead in this game. There's no coming back into this one anymore. Solar hangs on by his fingernails. And he takes game 3. He moves on to the winner's match to face either Gumiho or Maru.